Welcome back to the Microsoft Graph PowerShell series. In episode 3, we are moving from read only reporting to automated delivery. We'll email our CSV report straight from the shared mailbox and save a copy to SharePoint, and all with the same access token. In episode 1, we generated a report which gave us all the users with the three attributes: display name, user principal name, and department. In this, we will convert that into a CSV file and we will email that and also save it to SharePoint. But before that, the first step would be to grant API permission to our app to send the email and also save it to SharePoint. This is our graph demo app which we were using in our script. So I will add some extra permissions to it. First one is mail.send. That is for sending the email. Then sites read write all. So that is for saving the file on SharePoint site. I will grant the admin consent. We have added two permissions to our app. The scope remains unchanged. In our script, I have added these two variables. So earlier we were not saving the result in a CSV. So this time we will save the result in the CSV. So the first one is the CSV file name, which would be user attributes underscore and then the date and the time when the file was generated. The second one is where the file would be locally saved. So that would be in the temp variable. So I'm running it from my user account. So it will be saved in my user profile in temp folder. So here is the saving of result in the CSV file. So I'm exporting it to the local CSV path. When I run this code, it will save the file in my temp as a CSV. And now the fun part begins. We will email this file. So I have used this function called function send email attachment, using which I will email my file. After I define the function here, I am using the call to send email. So in my function, I am using 5 parameters, which I am passing while I am calling the function. The first one is the mailbox. The second one is the recipient. So the mailbox is the mailbox through which I am sending the email. Recipient is the one who is getting that email. Subject of the email, body of the email, and attachment path. Here I am in step 1, reading the CSV of the disk. Then I am converting that bytes to base 64 because Graph can only accept attachments as base 64 in the payload. And in the third one, I am just grabbing the file name. Now we will build the JSON envelope exactly the way Microsoft expects it to be. So in the email body, first we have the message, and in the message we will have the subject, which is $subject, body, which would be HTML type, and content is $body. Then in two recipients, we have the email address of the recipient. We can add CC and BCC as well. From will have the address of the mailbox, then the attachment. Save to sent items is true, so it will be saved in the shared mailbox sent items. And here the endpoint is the user $mailbox, which is our shared mailbox. Here in the invoke REST method, we are using the graph endpoints and email URL. Then headers is the one which we already had. This time the method is post. So post is to create or trigger something new. In this case, it's an email. So that's why I've used post. Then the email body and content type application JSON. We already have content type defined in headers. So I can actually skip this, not use it. And now we will call the function and pass those parameters which the function is expecting. So shared mailbox is this one, which I'm using to send email, then the recipient, the email subject, the email body. And while calling the function by the function name, which is send dash email with attachment, I'm passing these parameters. So first one is mailbox, which is here in the function. It's expecting mailbox, that is the shared mailbox. Then recipient, subject, body, attachment path, which is dollar local CSV path, which we defined up here at the top. So now when I run the script, first it will generate a CSV file here. Then it will load the function in the memory. And then I will call the function to send the email to davidjames at anudev.co.in. And here is the code which I had in my earlier script to update the variables, but I've commented it out because we are not updating anything here. So I have run this, and let me open the mailbox and check. Here I am logged into that mailbox for the user, and I have got the report as an attachment. So if I run the script again and look at the mailbox, it will have one more file in it. Okay, I got one more. So it's coming from that shared mailbox, which it reports at anubhavinit.co.in. The file has the name format which we define, the body, and the subject. Now we will update the script with one more function to save the file to SharePoint, and then call that function to save the same file to SharePoint. So we already have the file created. We just need to have function to save it to SharePoint. Okay, the email is done now. Let's drop the same CSV file into the SharePoint site so that the whole team can grab it. So in this function, which is uploading to SharePoint, we have 4 parameters. The first one is the CSV file path. The second one is the site ID for the SharePoint site. Third one is the drive ID, the document library drive ID. The fourth one is the folder path inside that drive where we want to save it. So here we read the file name in the file name variable and convert the content into file bytes. This part is critical because Graph reads every document library as a drive. So the upload URL would be sites, then the site ID, drives, drive ID, and then we URL encode it. In the invoke REST method, we will use the put to put the file on the SharePoint. In email, we used post, but here we will use put. And that's it about the function. And then here we will call the function. Before calling the function, we would need the site ID and the drive ID. And how do we get that? We'll get that using the same invoke REST method. And this is the SharePoint site on which I am saving the file. So that's my SharePoint site name. And from this, we are getting the site ID, and then we get the SharePoint drive ID. And the folder path is reports. And then we are passing these variables to our function. And then once now we run this, it will send an email and upload the file to SharePoint. So it has run. Let me check the SharePoint. Here is my SharePoint site. I go to documents, report folder. So here I have the user attribute file. So let me run it again, and it should work immediately. And let me refresh it. And I have the second SharePoint file. In this episode, we looked at how we get the report in a CSV file and save it to SharePoint or email it using the script calling Graph API. And we gave the permission to our Graph API app to send emails or save it to SharePoint. In the next video, we will see how we will run it on an automation account, like in Azure automation service, not on our local machine. I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.